Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And this movie came out in 2005, and it's the fourth Harry Potter film with all the same cast returning. And I thought this one was good. I didn't like it as much as Prisoner of Azkaban or Chamber of Secrets. I like it about as much as I did the first movie, although I do have different pros and cons to this movie opposed to the first movie. But all in all, I thought it was good. This movie does capture the same tone that I enjoyed throughout the entire franchise as of now. That's something that I do feel as though is consistent about the movie, as though even though things are a bit darker and our characters are a bit more mature, that tone that I still love, that playful, fun tone, but kind of serious at the same time, is still there. I still get a sense of the world that this is something I would like to be in, and it's fun, enjoyable, kind of playful. And the movie looks nice at times, and one thing that I will say, just dipping into my negatives a little bit, is that there were points where I was a bit confused in terms of what the movie was supposed to be showing me visually, because I just felt as though there were some shots missing at a couple points. And also, one thing that I have to mention is that I don't think the visual effects looked terrible in this film. However, I do feel as though they were a step down from Prisoner of Azkaban, which was 1 year before this. They just weren't blended as well for the most part, and I just felt as though the visual effects looked so much better, like almost night and day in some shots. And this movie does have a great cast. I love that they got Brendan Gleeson in this movie. He was so much fun to watch, and he brings a lot to the film. And Ralph Fiennes is also great as Voldemort, even though he's not in it a lot. When he is on screen, he brings a lot to this role, I feel. It's like perfect casting in my mind. Like, I don't really see anyone else pulling off this character better than he did. And despite this movie being 2.5 hours, I wasn't really bored, and I was thoroughly entertained in terms of what this movie was giving me. And I did like some scenes here and there. I enjoyed the tournament scenes, and there's 3 scenes pretty much dedicated to this, and they're all fun and enjoyable. And also Robert Pattinson was in this movie. I believe this was his first big movie that he was attached to, and it was cool to see him. And one thing that was different about this movie as opposed to the previous Harry Potter films, and I'm not sure if this is the case for the rest of them, but we did get one scene where we had Harry Potter not in a scene at all, and it was just from the other character's perspective, and I thought that was a unique choice and added a lot, and it was kind of a breath of fresh air. Not saying that I'm bored out of my mind watching Harry Potter and his friends, but it felt like it was a nice change of pace at the very least. But going into my negatives, I didn't really care for the dream sequence in the movie, and it just felt like a dumb way to open up the movie that I just didn't really care about. And the fact that they had to bring that back up again a few times, I found to be kind of annoying and just didn't need to be there. There was also some really dumb forced drama where Ron is mad at Harry, and there had to be some drama, I guess, there to make something interesting in this film, but I honestly just didn't see much of a point to that being in this movie. It just felt like it happens and then it gets resolved within, like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes later, and then they never really bring that up again. It's just Harry has his name pulled out of the Goblet of Fire, and he's mad at him about that, and it just felt like an unnecessary plot beat. Like, I just feel as though if that wasn't in the movie would be no different. And speaking of things that didn't need to be in the movie, and the movie would be no different, I didn't really care for the dance scene. There were some funny moments for sure. Like, those parts are the best parts of the dance scene, but all in all, I felt like if that was cut out of the movie, wouldn't change anything for me. I didn't really feel attached to much that it was exploring, and anything that it did explore just felt like familiar territory or just things that didn't need to be there because they added nothing to the overall package of what this movie was offering. And for the most part, I didn't really care about the new characters that were introduced in this film all that much. They just didn't really add anything to the experience. They just felt we have characters here, but they don't really give you much. And even the things that they do try to bring to the table, I can just do without, honestly. And this is kind of what I mean about this movie being kind of on par with the first movie for me, is that whereas in the first movie it was cheesy, lighthearted, and had some kind of weak acting overall from the child performances, and that's where it kind of suffered, but it still had a lot to establish, and I don't feel as though the movie got lost in establishing anything that it was doing, and it was always feeding into the story and the world building and all that kind of stuff. Whereas here, it doesn't suffer from any of that. It just feels like it's suffering from filler, which is just so sad, because I feel as though this is the first movie to suffer from filler. And it's just kind of irritating to watch. And I just know that this franchise is above that and can give you so much better than that. And it's just, we're stuck here. Like, just get us out of here now. But one thing I do want to talk about is the dragon tournament thing. That was definitely one of the most rewatched scenes from my childhood that I just loved seeing. And it was always fun. And even rewatching it, it is still fun to watch. Harry Potter going up against this dragon. Although, one thing that I will say, and this is just me nitpicking, is that he's not actually facing up against a dragon, he's up against a wyvern. And for those who don't know, I know this is just a me thing, but the difference between a dragon and a wyvern is whether or not the arms are attached to the wings, or they have wings and an extra set of arms. And the design in this movie is not a dragon, it's a wyvern for the most part. Or at least most of what we see, they say are dragons, but they're just wyverns. That's just a me thing that I always pick up on, and I'm like, that's not accurate. Yeah, video games also suffer from this, Skyrim, and yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. They just never get that right. Not saying that's like a deal breaker for me. If that wasn't in the movie and the arms were not attached to the wings and they just had wings and arms, like separate, I'm not saying this would be a 10 out of 10 movie, or it would increase or decrease my rating by a point or anything like that. It's just like a very tiny thing that I just wanted to address. But that's about all I have to say about Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. It was good. I liked it. Definitely one of the weaker ones as of now, but from memory, it kind of just goes downhill after this one, so I do still like it by the end of the day, so check it out whenever you get the chance. If you like all the Harry Potter movies up until this point, check this one out as well. And with all that being said, I'm going to give Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for 28 years later. And I know I don't usually talk about movies that are currently in theaters, but I just happened to watch this, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to talk about it, so look forward to my review of that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.